What does it mean to do your best to follow Jesus? Is that question joyful or burdensome? My goal today is to remove that burden by revealing the surprise in God's wisdom and in being a Christian. Let's start with honesty. Have you done your best to obey God, to be holy, and to love people? Mormons often tell me they do their best. When I ask if they could do better, all so far have said yes. I finally met a man, a Jehovah's Witness, who said he did his best and could not do better. He added that when he learned more, his best would be better. How about you? Could you do better? Something is wrong with my question about doing your best to follow Jesus. Do you see the problem? Let's explore it. First, how do you know if you are doing your best? You need a standard to know that. Are your feelings the standard? Are other people the standard? Is it good to make up your own standard? I lead Mormons to bypass their pride and shame and declare they know Christ is always the standard. They express surprise at noticing that. They also delight at tasting Christ as God's impossible standard because in that moment their burdens disappear. That makes them curious. If Christ is always God's standard, then he should be in my question. So let's put him in. Compared to Christ, are you doing your best? Compared to Christ, are you obedient, holy, and loving? I asked the Jehovah's Witness these questions. He replied that God desired effort, not success. Previously, another Jehovah's Witness gave me a helpful illustration. He said the spotlight should always be on Christ and not on himself. The above fellow agreed. I then urged him to apply that and evaluate where he was shining the spotlight while impatient, which he admitted to doing often. How about you? While you experience impatience, is the spotlight on Christ? When should you put the spotlight on Christ? Did my initial questions about doing your best or trying to obey, did they encourage you to put the spotlight on Christ or on yourself? Worldly wisdom always entices you to move the spotlight from Christ to yourself. That is because what you behold is what you trust. Therefore, when the spotlight is on Christ, you face him, you see God's glory, and you forget yourself. In short, you trust him, and like Paul, you do good with all God's energy. That makes obedience natural, easy, and even super easy. Putting the spotlight on yourself means giving Christ your back and trusting yourself since you are not beholding Christ. It means focusing on your performance and trying to do your best by self-effort. Putting the spotlight on Christ is a door into God's wisdom. Paul says Christ is all our wisdom from God. To be a Christian means to live in Christ and by Christ. When you look away from Christ and his perfection, you experience the non-Christian life, which is competitive and burdensome. I encourage you to thank God for Christ as your standard. Practice shining the spotlight on him and using him as the standard. This may prepare you to lead the next Mormon you meet to discover the power of Christ as her standard too. Welcome to My Conversations with Mormons.